they added another quarterback. Bailey Zappe, old buddy from last year, started Week 18 against Baltimore, spent time here on the practice squad, and as the team's third quarterback last season, Mary Kay, he is back. So the Browns are now back up to 4 quarterbacks overall, 5 quarterbacks in the building. So they just keep adding guys.
Well, it's kind of nice for them to have a veteran presence again on the roster at a backup position in the event that they need it. I think we all had talked about wondering if they were leaving themselves a little short in that regard. So now they've got Joe, and then they've got the 2 rookies, Dylan Gabriel, who's the backup right now, and Shedeur Sanders, who's the number 3. And then you've got Bailey Zappe, who is here as a guy who has started and won games before. He's almost on a Kenny Pickett level, if you want to think about it that way.
Breaking from Cleveland, the quarterback room just changed again. Bailey Zappe is back in the building. The Shedeur Sanders conversation is heating up. Like and subscribe. If you love Shedeur, comment SS 100%. Here is what just happened. The Browns added another quarterback. Bailey Zappe, your old buddy from last year. He started in Week 18 against Baltimore. He spent time here on the practice squad. He worked as the 3rd quarterback last season. Mary Kay Cabot reports he is back. That puts the Browns back to 4 quarterbacks on the roster. 5 quarterbacks in the building. This is a deliberate move. Cleveland keeps adding proven talent to stabilize the room. They have Joe Flacco, they have 2 rookies. Dylan Gabriel is the backup right now. Shedeur Sanders sits at number 3. Zappe joins as a player who has started and won games. He lives in that Kenny Pickett tire. Not a star yet, but tested on Sundays. He knows the league. He knows the speed. He knows the pressure. So what does it mean for Shedeur? The QB drama around him is in full force. Zappe's signing intensifies the competition. Yet this does not look like a search for a new QB1. It reads as an emergency insurance move. Depth protection, risk reduction. Keep your options open without heavy commitment to a new face. That is smart roster management in a long season. There is practical value here. Zappe understands this playbook and this locker room. He brings clean practice reps. He supports the weekly install. He helps the room stay sharp during the grind. In August, that matters. In November, that matters even more. Coaches like this kind of veteran presence. He will be good in practice. He will help the young quarterbacks prepare for each opponent. He will set tempo in the film room. He will keep the scout team honest. He is also a quality teammate. According to Mary Kay Cabot, his job is to steady the room and be ready if injuries hit. She called him a valuable addition. A small move with real value, but read between the lines. This could signal movement around Dylan Gabriel. Multiple reports say the Browns are weighing trade calls. Interest is building across the league. The recent trade involving Kenny Pickett turned the spotlight onto Gabriel. If that path opens up, Shedeur could be only a few games away from securing QB2. That would change his season and the Browns' calculus. If that happens, the window is massive. More reps, more timing, more trust. There are still voices that say this. Kenny Pickett could still be a number to somewhere unless he is traded again. Do not rule out more movement. The chairs are still shifting. Mike Florio weighed in on the debate inside Cleveland. Trade Dylan Gabriel, and you may lose some internal competition. That can dull the edge in the room, yet it can also create a clear lane for Shedeur. He gets a real shot to show command under pressure. He gets live fire tape. That can turn him into a serious asset for Cleveland. Or for any team that needs a capable backup who can play now. The timing around Zappe points to smoke around Gabriel. Something is brewing. With Kenny Pickett now out of the local picture, the Browns may be more open to a Gabriel deal. Florio added a key layer. Shedeur is basically off limits. His fan base is massive. Move him, and you invite backlash, heavy backlash. He believes trading Sanders would trigger real negative fallout. That is why Gabriel looks like the more likely trade piece. The front office is trying to balance depth and public trust at the same time. This is the natural byproduct of drafting Shedeur. He arrives with a built-in following. The energy follows him. The cameras follow him. Some pundits tossed around the phrase mouth breathers, their words not mine. The effect feels like Tebow mania, loud and relentless. That energy can bend decisions at the margins. Rich Eisen sees the runway clearly. If Gabriel gets traded and Shedeur steps into QB2, he believes the rise will not stop there. He thinks Shedeur could become the starter later this season. The Zappe signing only adds fuel. It could mean Gabriel is nearing a move. Eisen says that shift gives Shedeur a clean runway, lock down QB2, stack reps, then push for QB1. That is the arc he sees developing. Momentum is moving toward Shedeur. The timing, the fit, the opportunity, it all lines up. Picture the live game moment, second quarter. Joe Flacco takes a quick check in the blue tent. Does Dylan Gabriel step in, or does the staff hand the keys to Shedeur? If Shedeur gets the call and starts dealing, everything can change in a blink. One drive can rewrite a depth chart. Stephen A. Smith has been consistent on this. He says the momentum is undeniable. He says it was clear, even before the latest preseason game. Shedeur had moved ahead of Dylan Gabriel on the depth chart. He notes a small setback last week. Outside that he sees a clean run. Strong communication with teammates, command in the huddle. A clear focus on improvement and detail. He also says the Browns know what they have. They see the ceiling. They want Shedeur to keep building. More impact, more command. More consistency, stack smart decisions. Show poise in the red zone, manage the 2-minute drill. That is how you become a force at this position, and Stephen A. has repeated this view. Shedeur has passed Dylan. The momentum is real. The chemistry is real. The focus is real. The plan is to keep developing him. He said it more than once because the signal from the building matches the tape. You can see the grind if you watch him. He works. He talks through mistakes. He owns them. He tries to elevate every day. Remember the context. Up until this past weekend, many believed he had a strong case to be above Dylan. He outplayed Gabriel against Carolina. Dylan had a tougher outing against the Eagles. Then Shedeur hit a dip last week. A nosedive for a moment. Rookies have those swings. The test is always the response, reset fast and climb. There is also a shift on the headset. Kevin Stefanski has changed his posture on Shedeur. He has reaffirmed a strong commitment to developing him. He is not swayed by outside noise now. That is a notable turn. Not long ago, he downplayed concerns. He delivered critiques that felt harsh. Then Kenny Pickett moved. The room changed. The lens changed. Shedeur is back in the spotlight with a real chance to prove it. The timing is crucial. The opportunity is real. Analysts keep weighing the QB2 race. Dylan Gabriel earns praise for skill and composure. Mike Tannenbaum highlighted his strong preseason. Yet he flagged the size question. At the NFL level, height can be a hard cap. It squeezes throwing lanes. It tightens windows. It can limit long-term outcomes. That is why a trade could be more likely for Gabriel. Fit matters. Profile matters. The numbers are stark. Some have him in the 3rd percentile for height. Sustained success at that size is rare. Drew Brees is the outlier. That is why it carries risk for Cleveland. You would be moving from 4 quarterbacks to a 40-year-old starter in Joe Flacco, backed by a very unproven and very short by league standards 3rd-round pick. That is a thin margin in a long season. This is the roster math the Browns are managing. Keep depth strong. Protect the starter. Create a runway for growth behind him. Zappe brings immediate stability. He knows the building. He can run the offense on a Wednesday practice and give defense a look. He can jump in if injuries strike. He is a safety valve that also raises the practice floor. All of that leaves Shedeur with a clear challenge. Win the week, win the room, stack days, and build trust. The staff wants to see timing on outbreaking routes, strong ball security, smart checkdowns on 3rd and medium, situational awareness in the red zone, and in 2 minutes. If he does that, the door to QB2 opens wider. Once you are QB2, the path to QB1 is no longer theoretical. It is one snap away. Cleveland knows the stakes. The city knows the stakes. The fan base is loud and engaged. The analysts are locked in. The front office has to balance talent development with risk control. They brought back Bailey Zappe to steady the ship. They are taking calls on Dylan Gabriel. They are not moving Shedeur. Not now. Not with this momentum and this fan base, so the outlook is this. The quarterback picture in Cleveland is moving fast. Zappe returns, depth rises, Shedeur's momentum builds. A Gabriel trade would accelerate the timeline. A renewed commitment from Coach Stefanski adds trust and patience. That combination gives Shedeur a legitimate chance to lock QB2 and make a push later in the year. Dylan Gabriel deserves credit. He showed skill and composure in the preseason. He earned respect. The size question remains a factor. That could limit his long-term hold on the role in Cleveland. Not because he lacks talent, because margins are thin and roster risk is real. The Browns need a backup profile that reduces downside for a 40-year-old starter. Zappe helps that calculus today. Shedeur can answer it for the future. If trends hold, this could be the year Shedeur makes his mark. Not hype, not noise, real progress in meetings and on the field. Real poise in live reps, that is how you change a depth chart. That is how you win a locker room. Your turn. What are Shedeur's chances to lock QB2 in Cleveland? Does he have the traits to become the starter this season? Will competition from Dylan Gabriel and Bailey Zappe slow that rise? Does Gabriel's size limit his future with the team? Will the Browns make a trade to clear the room? Or will Shedeur's rise force a new plan? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like and subscribe for more daily breakdowns. If you love Shedeur, comment SS 100%.